Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Today I'm in this 2016 Fiat Panda 4x4. The little four-wheel drive Panda is a real character. It's been around since the early 80s and quickly earned a reputation for being a plucky, go-anywhere workhorse. The second generation was a very worthy successor too. This is a Mark III and these have been around since 2012. It's quite a cute little car, but it also looks tough and ready for battle. It's almost like a Beanie Baby with war paint. Under the bonnet of this one is a puny 0.9 litre two-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, which only produces about 85 horsepower. It's known as the Twin Air. It might not sound very exciting, but you'll enjoy every minute of driving it because of the noise it makes. I mean, listen to this. It's hilarious. It sounds like, you know, when you were a kid and you put a playing card in the spokes of your bike? That's what it sounds like, that. That sounds like a horse, doesn't it? No, that's wrong as well. Anyway, you get the point. 0 to 60 takes about 11 seconds, but that really doesn't matter because you'll be grinning ear to ear. Every single time I drive one of these cars with this engine, I just find myself grinning like a Cheshire cat. If you don't like the idea of the little two-cylinder petrol engine, you could also go for an oil burner. They're not bad either. Styling wise, it looks all jacked up. It looks like a regular Panda that's hired a personal trainer and got jacked. In this colour, which I believe is Tuscan green, which extends to the interior, it sort of looks like the Apocalypse Now version of a Panda. It sits slightly higher than a regular Panda, and it comes with extra cladding and bumper mouldings and these wider wheel arches. It all just looks very rough and tumble. What helps to give this car its go-anywhere ability is the fact that there are almost no bumper overhangs. It means you can tackle almost any obstacle without grounding out. Obviously a car needs more than that to be good off-road, and this Panda has quite a clever four-wheel drive setup. It uses two open diffs, front and rear. The torque is then sent to the two axles in proportion, depending on the conditions. This is all controlled electronically, so you don't have to lift a finger. It's a much more intelligent system than the early ones. In addition to this car only weighs about a tonne, which means with a decent set of tyres on it, this thing turns into a mountain goat. Another benefit of its slender frame is fuel economy. Now Fiat claim it will do 60 miles per gallon, but I haven't seen anywhere near that sort of figure. Mainly because I've been revving it out because it sounds so good. Even if you are a bit heavy-footed, you'll still get 42 miles per gallon, so it's quite a cheap car to run. The fuel tank is about 35 litres, meaning it will cost you about £50 here in the UK to fill it. The petrol comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, the diesels come with a 5-speed. The changes are a little bit sloppy and imprecise, and the same is true of the handling, but it doesn't really matter in this kind of car. Thanks to its taller body, it does wallow a little bit in corners, but Fiat created its own little niche with this car, so it can pretty much do as it pleases. It's just genuinely really good fun to drive. You might think that a little lightweight car like this will crumple like a Coke can in an accident. Well, it shouldn't do, because it scored 4 out of 5 stars on its Euro NCAP safety rating, which is fairly admirable. They're quite practical for a little city car. The boot is on the small side, but it'll still take a couple of small suitcases. It offers 225 litres of space. With the rear seats down, that's increased to 870 litres. Because it's quite a tall car, there is plenty of headroom. And because it sits a little bit higher, it is that much easier to get in and out of. That also means you can see it easy when you come out of the supermarket. Headroom and legroom in the back isn't bad. It might feel a little bit cramped if you're above 6 foot, but anybody under that should be alright. Sat up front, there's just about enough room. There's no armrest, unfortunately, but the driving position's pretty good. Visibility's excellent. Feels like you're in a fish tank, to be honest. All the windows are completely vertical. I imagine if you're carrying a big passenger, it might feel a little bit snug. I also like all the buttons and switches. They're big and chunky and easy to control. It's almost like you sat in a big child's toy. If you're looking to buy one, I would recommend that you go for one in Tuscan green, because it's a cracking colour for this kind of car. It's almost like an army green. It blends into the countryside well. In terms of what it's like to drive, it's good fun. It rides quite well, the seats are very comfortable. It doesn't feel jarring when you go over a bump. The steering's reasonably weighted. There's also the city button, which if you press that, the steering goes very light and very heavily assisted. This one comes with a winter pack, which if I were in the market for one of these cars, I would definitely seek out. You get a heated windscreen and heated seats. The cup holder situation is a little bit poor. They're very shallow. It's almost like a soap dish. It's more of a gesture than anything else. I just love the honesty of the Panda 4x4. It feels plucky. It's unpretentious and sincere. This is one of those rare cars that you could have and keep in the family for years and years. A bit like the Dacia Duster or the Skoda Yeti. It's just a workhorse. Almost becomes the family pet. Prices here in the UK start at around £4,000, but you're going to have to spend between 5 and 6 to get yourself a decent one. I would avoid ones with monster miles, unless you're going for a diesel, because I just think that little 2-cylinder petrol engine might not stand the test of time. I've never had any bad experiences personally, but it's such a tiny engine, you're asking an awful lot of it to get 120,000 miles out of it. You want to look for one with 2 keys, good service records and good tyres. But the good thing about the Panda is nothing's expensive to replace or repair. So if something goes wrong with it, like the electronic power steering pump, which can fail, they can fail on Puntos and Pandas and 500s, they're not expensive. Parts are interchangeable and you'll be able to pick them up on eBay for a couple £100. I've been quite impressed with Fiats recently. Obviously I've been driving that electric 500, but also in stock at the moment I've got a Fiat 500X, which is a 2-litre diesel automatic. And yesterday I used that all day long, and I was impressed with the build quality. It drove really well. I was expecting it to be terrible, and it really wasn't. So yeah, as a brand, I think they are improving. I would recommend you go for a decent spec though. Well, I think that concludes my time with the Fiat Panda 4x4. It's one of those quirky little cars that just gets under your skin. I'm now thinking of ways to justify buying one, even though I've got absolutely no reason for one. So thanks once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. If you're interested in getting into the used car business, or you want to expand your used car business, do check out my online course. I've created an online portal with nearly 100 videos which covers every single subject, from where to buy cars from, motor insurance, trade plates, branding, how to advertise your cars, all that sort of thing. So everything's there. So if you're interested in getting into this job, then check it out. So yeah, cheers guys, I'll see you next time.